Good morning, dear students. Welcome to physics class. Children, this is your physics period, and as you know that we were doing the chapter number 15, water. Okay, in the previous class, we did the introductory part of this chapter, and in the previous class, we have talked about the area of water covered in the earth and what are the sources of water where we can find the water. So all these things we have talked about in the previous class. All right. So children, now you know that though earth is covered, or the earth has 3/4 amount of water, 3/4 of the area is covered with water, but still we have the scarcity of water. All right, we only have 1% of water that is fit for drinking and that is available to us. So this we have seen in the previous class, and we have also talked about that where we can find the water. Okay, so we can find the water in lake, we can find the water in puddles, we can find the water in river and oceans and sea. So all these are the sources and the places where we can find the water. Okay, then among this also we know that the water of ocean and sea are very salty and they have high content of salt, which is not fit for use. Okay, so this we have also talked about in the previous class. Now children, today we will cover two topics, that is importance of water in sustaining life first, and second, states of water. Okay, like we have studied about matter, what are the states of matter, we'll also talk about the states of water. Okay, so let's quickly start with it. Children, please open your book, open this chapter number 15, water. Let's start with it. Children, please open this page, that is page number 174. So please open your page, children, open your book. So today we'll study these two topics, that is importance of water for sustaining life, and we'll talk about its states of water. Okay. So children, apart from the total area covered by the water on the earth, still we have only 1% of water which is fit for drinking. So though it is only less amount of water that is fit for drinking, but then also the water is very essential for our life to sustain. We can live without food for almost a week, but we cannot live without water for more than a day. All right, so it is not like we cannot survive without water for a day or two. Getting it? So water is very essential, and also our body, not only our body, all the bodies of plants and animals are 70% made up of water. Getting it? Our body is made up of water. Like all the processes in our body requires water, including from digestion of the food, then absorption of the nutrients by the body, distribution of the nutrients to the several places, removal of the waste. Everything require water. All right, all the things require water. Is it clear? Not only for us, water is very essential for plants also. And from where the plant get water? They get the water from soil. Isn't it? जब भी हम पेड़ को पानी डालते हैं या प्लांट को पानी डालते हैं तो हम कहाँ से डालते हैं? We put or pour the water in the soil, and with the help of roots and stem, the water travels to all part of the plant. Isn't it? So plant also require water, and for what process it requires water? For germinating seed it requires water, for germination of fruits it require water, and also for the process of photosynthesis. So for the process of photosynthesis, they require water, and water is very essential for that process. And we know what is photosynthesis, right? So what is photosynthesis? It is a process by which plants prepare its own food, and for that it requires water. Getting it? So water is very essential for our life, isn't it? Children, in our day-to-day life, like, we also, the removal of the waste from our body is also very essential, isn't it? It is very essential to remove all the waste from the body. So in what ways the waste are removed? By urine, by feces, by sweat, and by exhaling. In all these processes, the waste that are present in our body is excreted out. Okay, and all these process, sweat, pasina hota hai, there are also some content of water is released. In urine, maximum amount of water is released. During exhalation, जब हम exhale करते हैं carbon dioxide, then also water is very essential in that process. Getting it? So water is very essential in cleaning our body also, and it requires in the process of digestion and absorption of nutrient. In all the process it we require water. Getting it? Even the food, the food that we eat, like cereals, like egg or vegetables, so these foods also contain some percentage of water. Like हम लोग खीरा खाते हैं गर्मी में, right? We eat cucumber during summer season. So children, this cucumber contain 95% of the water. Getting it? Like in the same way, potatoes also contain water. Getting it? Egg contains some amount of water. Getting my point? So not only by drinking the water we consume water. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि जितना हम पानी पी रहे हैं हम उतना ही water consume कर रहे हैं, but also some amount of water is present in foods also. So we intake the water from the food also. Okay, so let's see what is written in the chapter. So water is essential for life. Water is essential for life. Okay, a person can live without food for several weeks. हम हफ्तों हफ्तों तक खाने के बिना रह सकते हैं, but without water we cannot last for more than a few days. कुछ दिन तक तो बिना पानी के हम रह सकते हैं, but not for more than few days. Few days means like 3 to 4 days से ज़्यादा हम पानी के बिना नहीं रह सकते. The bodies of all plants and animals have large amount of water. Nearly 70% of the body contains water. Several life processes in humans and animals, such as digestion of food, absorption of nutrients by the body, distribution of nutrients to various parts of the body. Because we intake food, we digest it, and the nutrient that is that we consume from the food is also spread to the several part of the body, isn't it? This we already know. So in all these complete process, water is very essential. We intake the food, water is important. We digest the food, water is important. Nutrient is traveling to the several part of the body, water is important. Then we are removing the waste out, there also water is very important. So in all the body processes, water plays a very important role. Okay, so in a day we should consume, children, at least 2 to 3 liters of water. Okay, now about 70% of the human body consists of water. We take in water through food, drink, and lose it through in the form of urine, sweat, and exhaled air. पसीने के फॉर्म में, यूरिन के फॉर्म में, या एक्सेल जो हम एयर एक्सेल आउट करते हैं उसके फॉर्म में हम वाटर को रिलीज करते हैं. ओके, water, yes children, this is very important. Water, the main purpose of water is that water maintains the body temperature. Getting it? Water maintains the body temperature. इसीलिए देखो जब ठंड का टाइम आता है तो हमें प्यास कम लगती है, लेकिन जब गर्मी का टाइम आता है तो हम लोग को कितनी प्यास लगती है ना। हम लोग ठंड में कम पानी पीते हैं, लेकिन गर्मी में हम लोग बहुत पानी पीते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारी बॉडी की ऐसी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है। गेटिंग इट? बॉडी में जो वाटर कंटेंट है इट मेंटेन्स द टेम्परेचर। ओके, जब हमारी बॉडी के टेम्परेचर को मेंटेन करना रहता है, देन स्वेट also plays a very important role. जो पसीना होता है it also maintains the temperature of the body. कि जब गर्मी में पसीना होता है, ठंडी में तो पसीना होता नहीं है, जब बहुत गर्मी होती है तब पसीना होता है। तो क्या होता है कि हमारी बॉडी बहुत ज्यादा गर्म ना हो जाए, इस वजह से वो स्वेट रिलीज होके बॉडी के टेम्परेचर को कूल डाउन कर देता है। इट मेंटेन्स द टेम्परेचर। Getting it? Same thing is written here, that water also helps to control our body temperature. In hot weather, we drink a lot of water. This maintains our body temperature within reasonable limit. वो अपने बॉडी को एक ऑप्टिमम टेम्परेचर पे रखेगा गर्मी के टाइम जब हम पानी ज्यादा पीते हैं। Water that evaporates from the surface of the body in the form of sweat takes away a lot of heat and thus cools the body. जब पसीना होता है, हमको पसीना क्यों होता है? जब पसीना होगा तो हमारी बॉडी क्या होगी? बहुत ज्यादा गर्म नहीं होगी, it will remain at its moderate temperature. Getting it? हमारी बॉडी का एक टेम्परेचर है ना? Yes, so it maintains the temperature of that. That is why water is very essential. And water is also essential for plants. So water is essential for germination of seeds and their growth as well. It also helps in the transport of nutrient from the soil. Getting it? कैसे? If this is a plant, ये plant है. Yes, this is plant और ये soil है आपका. तो we know that soil contains maximum of the nutrient, isn't it? तो जब ये पानी रूट से ऊपर जाता है प्लांट में, तो it also takes the nutrient with it and it travels to the entire part of the plant body. Getting it? So now plant use water along with carbon dioxide from air to make food in the presence of sunlight, which is known as photosynthesis. Plant takes in water from the soil through the roots. So this we have already discussed. Okay. So see, water is also used in certain electrical work like in generating electricity. कैसे? पानी का जो फोर्स आता है ना, पानी के फोर्स से टरबाइन को रोटेट कराया जाता है. I'll show you. So see what happens. See, this is a turbine. This is the shaft of turbine. Getting it? With the help of a pipe, ये pipe है, इससे बहुत फोर्स से पानी को पास कराया जाता है. Getting it? Now, then what happens? This turbine, with the force of water, this turbine starts to rotate. ये क्या करने लगता है? ये rotate करने लगता है. Getting it? And now this turbine is connected to a generator. Getting it? Now, as the turbine rotates, the generator starts to work and this supplies electricity. Getting it? So nowadays it is also one of the feasible method because we cannot use coal all the time, because coal is a fossil fuel and it will become extinct one day. So we cannot use coal all the time. So this is the alternative method to generate electricity, okay, with the help of water. Okay, so this is also called hydroelectric power. Okay, hydro means water, electric power means generation of electricity. So it is also called hydroelectric power generation, or we can also write that it helps in generating electricity. Getting it? So for this process also water is used. So apart from these things, apart from generation of electricity, we also use water in our household work, like washing the clothes and cooking purpose. So in all these processes also the water is used. Getting it? So water is very essential for our day-to-day work, and all the time water is very essential. Okay, so let's see here. So besides being essential for life, water is useful to us in many other ways, like for cooking, washing, generating electricity, in agricultural field, in industries. Okay, yes, also through in the medium of transport. Medium of transport मतलब ships चलती हैं, isn't it? बोट चलती है, तो ये सब कहाँ होती है? पानी में होती है, पानी में चलती है, isn't it? So it also acts as a medium for transport, and also it is a place of survival for various aquatic plants and animals, isn't it? Like fishes survive in the water, then there are certain aquatic plants that survive in water. All right, so it is also a place or a habitat for the aquatic life. So it is used for cooking, washing, generating electricity, agriculture, industries. Is it clear? It also is, water is also used in as a medium of transport. Okay. So water is also the home for several plants and animals. Water does not heat up or cool down fast as land. So it maintains the temperature. Alright, it maintains the temperature, and it acts, and it is a life or a home for various aquatic plants and animals. All right. So for this purpose, water is very, very, very important. Children, please go through this table also. That, see, dry cereals contains 3 to 4% of water. ओके, ड्राई सीरियल्स क्या हो गए? गेहूं हो गया, चावल हो गया, इन सब में क्या होता है? 3 to 4% ऑफ वाटर. एग में we have 73% of water. In potatoes we have 78% of water. Milk 88%. Tomatoes 90%. Green vegetables 90%. Cucumber, it is 95%. Okay, so all these food items contains such percentage of water, which is also very important to know. Okay, so now let's switch to another topic, that is states of matter. So children, in the previous classes, in the previous chapter when we was talking about the matter, तो हमें ये पता है कि मैटर क्या होता है. तो मैटर क्या होता है? Anything that occupies space and have mass is known as matter. Okay, then we have also seen that there are 3 states of matter, isn't it? कोई भी substance है, कोई भी material है, वो 3 state में पाया जाता है. कौन कौन सा है 3 state? Solid, liquid and gas. Alright, these are the 3 states. क्या क्या? Solid, liquid and gas. These are the 3 states of matter. Okay, and children, we know that जो पानी हम पीते हैं वो किस स्टेट में है? It is in liquid state, isn't it? Okay, अगर हम उस पानी को आइस ट्रे में रख के और रेफ्रिजरेटर में रख देते हैं, तो थोड़ी देर बाद जब उसको निकालो तो वो किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है? वो आइस में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. नाउ आइस इज व्हाट? इज इट अ लिक्विड और अ सॉलिड? Ice is solid. Okay, and when we boil the water, then what happens? So when you boil the water, what happens? Gas is released, कुछ steam निकलता है, isn't it? So that is gaseous state of water. Okay, बेटा water एक ऐसा substance है, एक ऐसा bound है, we can say that it can exist in all the three states. It can exist as liquid, it can exist as solid and also in the form of gas. तो ये तीनों स्टेट में पाया जाता है, सॉलिड, लिक्विड और गैस. ठीक है, नेचर में भी ये तीनों स्टेट में पाया जाता है, सॉलिड, लिक्विड और गैस. कैसे? इफ यू टॉक अबाउट लिक्विड तो हमें पता है रिवर का पानी, लेक का पानी, ओशन, सी, यहाँ के जितने भी पानी होते हैं वो किस स्टेट में होते हैं? लिक्विड स्टेट में होते हैं. Isn't it? When we go into a hilly areas जहाँ पे माउंटेन्स हैं, आइसबर्ग्स हैं, ग्लेशियर्स हैं, तो वहां पे क्या होता है? Water is present in solid state, isn't it? In mountains, in glaciers, in ice caps, तो क्या होता है वहां पे? Solid state में present होता है, isn't it? And we know that air contains some amount of water vapor, isn't it? Air contains some amount of water vapor, and we know that because of the presence of this water vapor only humidity hoti hai, isn't it? So what is water vapor? What is the state of water vapor? It is gaseous state. All right, so water can exist in all the three states: solid, liquid and gas. Getting it? So these are the three states of water, that is solid, liquid and gas. Getting it? Solid में कहाँ होता है? Let's see. So if we talk about water, so when we drink the water, ठीक है, जो ग्लास में हम पानी पीते हैं, it is in liquid state. All right, when we keep it in a ice tray, ये ice tray है, when we keep it in a ice tray, तो क्या होता है? ये आइस के फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा and it is solid. All right, when we boil the water, then it is converted into steam and it is a gaseous state. All right, so water can exist in all the three states: solid, liquid and gas. Clear? Now children, we can also convert all these things into each other state, जिसको हम बोलते हैं, we say it as change of states. ठीक है, चेंज ऑफ स्टेट्स का क्या मतलब हुआ? कि हम लिक्विड को गैस में कन्वर्ट कर दें, ठीक है, या हम सॉलिड को लिक्विड में कन्वर्ट कर दें. सो वी कैन चेंज द स्टेट. ऑलराइट, So water, in case of water also we can change the state of water. ठीक है, कैसे? First of all, let's talk about freezing. Freezing of water. फ्रीजिंग का क्या मतलब होता है बेटा? फ्रीजिंग का मतलब होता है किसी चीज को ठंडा कर देना. ठीक, तो इफ वी हैव वाटर और हम उसको रेफ्रिजरेटर में रख दें तो क्या होगा? इट विल कन्वर्ट इनटू आइस. सो हियर स्टेट्स आर चेंजिंग. दैट इज लिक्विड is converting into solid. Liquid is getting converted into solid and this process is known as freezing of water. ठीक है, यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं? इसका टेम्परेचर कम कर दे रहे हैं. ठीक है, लाइक 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे रख रहे हैं. फ्रिज ठंडी होती है, रेफ्रिजरेटर और ठंडा होता है, isn't it? तो हम इसको क्या कर रहे हैं? 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे रख दे रहे हैं. अब next we will talk about boiling and evaporation. ये क्या होता है? So when you will increase the temperature, टेम्परेचर बढ़ा दो, 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस कर दो, तो क्या होगा? water will boil and will convert into gaseous state and water will evaporate. अच्छा, ये प्रोसेस हमने देखी कहाँ है इवेपोरेशन की? हम जब कपड़े धोने के बाद जब कपड़े सुखाते हैं छत पे तो क्या होता है? पानी उसमें से, कपड़े में से पानी कहाँ चला जाता है? कपड़ों में से पानी, कपड़ों में पानी होता है जब हम लोग कपड़ा सुखाते हैं, फिर वो पानी कहाँ चला जाता है बच्चे? वो पानी इवेपोरेट हो जाता है. कैसे इवेपोरेट हो जाता है? बिकॉज ऑफ द हीट ऑफ सन. सन की जो हीट पड़ती है उसके वजह से वाटर गेट्स इवेपोरेटेड फ्रॉम liquid. Water changes its state to gaseous state. Getting it? So this we will talk about in the next class also. Okay. So we'll talk about the change of states in the next class. Till then, please do read the chapter. Okay. Children, today we have a Zoom class and in this class we have a test. So the 2 chapters are there. I have already sent you in the group. So I hope everybody is prepared. So we are meeting again for the test. Okay. So that's all for today's class. Hope you have understood it. It was an easy topic. So that's all for today. Thank you and Jai Hind, children.